Hi guys, welcome to another beer review. Once again, venturing over to the Northern Monk Patrons Project series and having a look at the second instalment of their Dream Line Forms, I should say, which is the collaboration with SKGN. And not only that, but for this beer, they're also brewing with Neon Raptor, Loughram family malt, I think that's how it's pronounced, and indie hops. And this is a double dry hopped IPA, clocking in at 7% ABV, brewed with Strata, Citra, and Simcoe. Now, I know my good friend Rob from Hop Scene is really loving Strata hops at the moment. To be honest, I don't think I've had much experience knowingly, and yes, I've got a bit of iron action, hardcore iron action there for you. Yeah, Rob is a massive fan of the hop, good old hop scene, and I can't remember what beers that I've had with that hop. I think this might actually be the first. I'm sure it isn't, but you never know. So yeah, this is Patrons Project 21.02. And there is the artwork from SKGN. Fantastic, simple line drawings there. I won't read about SKGN because I've already done that in the first instalment. And I am hoping to actually get through this whole series. I say that like every time when it comes to the Patrons Project, but I'll always end up missing one beer from the series and then just... But yeah, because I think if you actually like complete a full Patrons Project and let Northern Monk know, I think you like get some sort of thing. I don't know. So yeah, plus I really like this style of artwork. So Neon Raptor, gonna quickly read about them. Neon Raptor is all about producing fantastic beers for everyone to enjoy. It started many moons ago by brewing some super small batches on the kitchen hob with a Wilco stock pot, some garden hose and a copper pipe. They turned out pretty awesome, so we decided to see how it matched up against the rest of the homebrewing world by entering into a competition, the Brewdog Nottingham Homebrew Contest 2015. The beer which we entered won and gave us the encouragement we needed to give brewing a go for real. We have been producing on a small scale since April 2016 and have had a few different beers out there, but are moving into second gear with the move to our first ever home at Sneinton Market in Nottingham. This means more beer, better beer, and the ability to reproduce some of our great brews on a big enough scale for you to enjoy with us. Don't think I've actually had anything from Neon Raptor. Heard a lot of good things, especially in the recent months. And I know a good friend Dean from Dean's Beer Reviews was absolutely head over heels with their sort of like chocolate orange imperial stout, which sounds pretty damn fit, to be honest. So then we've got the Loughram family malts. Read about them. It's a 6th generation barley farm and brewery supplier in Ireland. We provide craft breweries with the highest quality ingredients from independent farmers and processors from across the globe, with an emphasis on supply chain and management. We are able to bring the freshest hops to our customers. We cold ship and store all of our hop products below freezing to ensure both the brewer and the drinker receive the best possible experience. And then we've got indie hops, Oregon grown. Indie hops started in 2009 and with the goal of delivering captivating flavour and aroma in craft, utilising unique approaches to breeding, growing and harvesting to provide brewers the highest quality hops. And then, of course, I'm going to read you a little bit more, and this is actually about the beer itself. So, brewed in the north with Brian Dixon, Brethren, #002. This collaboration was pretty special in multiple ways. Not only did we get to invite the Neon Raptor team up for an overdue brew, we also got to brew with a new hop we'd been getting our hands on for most of the year. Thanks to the team at Loughram Family Malt in Ireland and their close relationship with Oregon's indie hops, we sourced fresh 2019 Strata straight from the States through to Loughrams and over in the UK in less than a month from harvest. To top it off, Strata is potentially the most exciting hop out there right now. It's the perfect multi-hop blend of tropical fruit, citrus and dark pine varieties all rolled into one. I don't know why I started reading with emotion then, but I'll carry on doing it. And it grew this way organically. The raw pellets simply burst from the packet with passion fruit aroma, so we could not wait to get them into a beer. Over a New England base accentuated with flaked oats and wheat malt, we used the strata in both the whirlpool and the dry hop alongside. Citra Simcoe, didn't read that properly, to complement the ranging flavour profile of our lead hop and bring the close up to 28 grams per litre. The passion fruit shines through with notes of honeydew melon, citrus, ripe berries and plenty of distinct pine to finish off. So, story time with Uncle Peter is now finished, and I think it's about time we get into this. The first beer from this series was an absolute belter. It really, really was, using a brand-appropriate glassware for this. So, let's see what we get. So, I was actually at Northern Monk in Manchester yesterday. I was doing some Christmas shopping, which includes a little bit of shopping and me just mainly drinking around Manchester. So what did I have? Let's put you there. I've actually got something of a display today. Shame about the face and the backdrop, although you do get to see some of my handy creative artwork with used beer labels. Any independent bars out there who want some good affordable artwork for their bars, get in touch. Anyway, so beer in the glass. Don't know what I was saying before that segue. Yeah, I was in Northern Monk yesterday. Had a few beers, obviously. Because I know Neon Raptor did another beer with Northern Monk, which I think was more of a sour. So I had like a blueberry sour, which might have been the Neon Raptor one. I can't really remember. I also had Frau Gruber in Northern Manchester. I can't remember the name of it, but that was absolutely gorgeous. I wish we could get hold of more Frau Gruber here in the UK. So, stockists, get in touch, get their beers out there. You know, we see a fair bit of Wurst via Czech. Who else do we see from Germany? Get a little bit of Camber Bavaria, which is always good. We get the traditional stuff. It'd be nice to get a bit of Himbergs. There's loads of German craft breweries who I'd love to see more of in the UK, and to see them on tap at Northern Monk was awesome, and the beer itself was awesome. And of course, while I was there, I picked up a few cans. So you'll be seeing this review, and then the review of their grapefruit soda IPA, which I'm just looking forward to. But I thought for tonight after work, I would have a little bit of Strata double dry hopped IPA action. And yeah, beer in the glass then. It looks considerably paler and fainter on camera. Doesn't do the beer any justice. And I don't think the colour of the printing on the glass helps. It just sort of reinforces a sort of pale thinness to the beer. But it's not. It's a lovely sort of peach compote with a little bit of amber in there, haze for days, murk for months, nothing's getting through that at all. And the beer poured with, well, it's about one finger's worth of head, but I went off on another tangent as I usually do, but it's settled really, really nicely. Looks really nice and chewy. The first one that I had from this series was absolutely fantastic as well, so I think we're on to another winner of the series on the Patrons Project. Could it be better than the what's on with Infinity Vortex, which was just like one of the best beers of 2018, if not the best beer of 2018? What was that called? What was that series they did with the Polish-born graffiti artist? I can't remember. My mind's gone blank. I've not slept for about. I've been awake, I should say, for about 27 hours at this point, so not really firing on all cylinders. But then again, when am I? Anyway, so I think it's about time we actually get on to the nose of the beer, don't you? So we'll give it a bit of a swirl. bit of a sniff. Yeah, definitely getting that passion fruit, and I know I did read that, but you do get it. Power of persuasion did not come into effect though. It's just lovely, bright, vibrant sort of aroma. Little bit of pine there. It's got that sort of like Rantries fruit pastel aroma, which you don't get much of, which I do like in an IPA. Yeah, honeydew melon. I know it's what it said on the tasting notes, but it's there. I'd have probably just said like generic melon. I wouldn't have specified honeydew melon. See, I'm honest. I'm a shill, but I'm honest. There's a little bit of grapefruit, a little bit of blood orange. But yeah, it's smelling nice and vibrant. It's got soft edges to it. It's not like really too potent or anything like that. Let me just push you to the side so you get to see more of this. Anyway, smells absolutely fantastic. So let's give it a taste. Cheers, guys. That's nice. Only thing is, I was expecting a tiny bit more body in that. It's not thin by any stretch, but it's not as creamy or velvety as you would expect. But then again, is that what we've become, where every beer has to be like that that's brewed to this style? Sometimes they get a little bit too gloopy, do you know what I mean? But this, the mouthfeel, I like it, but I was expecting maybe a little bit more chewiness. Beer itself, it's got tropical fruit tones in there, but it's not a really bold, sweet flavour. It's got that sort of like New England, like fruity, tropical character, but then it's offset with an almost West Coast stone fruit resin sort of element. Because it's got really satisfying bitterness, which is something I always appreciate in an IPA. Carbonation is gentle. Swishes the beer. It's enough to swish the beer around the mouth. But yeah, I'm not getting really anything too... Maybe it's because it's probably the first time I've had a beer that's predominantly strata hop. There's nothing really there that's like screaming out, oh, this is new, exciting hop. It's flavours that, and I'm sure you're going to get it anyway, that you've tasted plenty of times before. It's slightly reminiscent with the use of that Citra. I think Citra's in this beer I'm going to talk about. It's reminding me of a little bit of a slightly like sharper, tartar heathen almost. Yeah, it is quite similar, but it's got a very subtle gooseberry, passion fruit sort of character. There's a little bit of a berry-like jam tone in there. But yeah, lovely grapefruit bitterness on the back end. Missed my mouth slightly then. Yeah, I don't know. Part of me was expecting a little bit more, but you know, I think. I mean, let's just be honest. I think you can tell by now that Northern Monk are my favourite UK brewery. So I don't want to, try and be one of those people who make every tiny excuse when there shouldn't be one. To me, it's not the most exciting Northern Monk beer that I've had. Is it a well-brewed, tasty IPA? Fuck yes. It's up there. It's Northern Monk doing a double dry hopped IPA. What did you expect? It's going to be well, not really too chewy, but bang full of hoppy character. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting with that strata hop, because I've heard such good things and good opinions about it. But it's like when, you know, there was that big fuss about Attacker hops. You drink that and it's like, I'm not really picking anything too distinct about it. There's no real distinctness. There's maybe a little bit of a peppery spiciness coming through. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. But I think the first beer in this series was a little bit more exciting. Yeah, I just can't shake Even out of my head, which to me is like my favourite, you know, core range beer. And a beer that I go to very often whenever I'm either in Manchester, going to the Northern Monk bar, or when I do, you know, online orders, which by the way, international shipping now on Northern Monk. So you guys stateside who get to experience the sort of like the collaborations that they've done with the likes of Other Half and Finback, you can actually now get their beers, and I think that's a really good positive move. I think that's what I like a lot about Northern Monk is they're making really big steps. They're making really big strides. I'm sure, you know, they're making a good amount of money, but they're not compromising, and they still have that, especially with this Patrons Project series, a real emphasis on community and collaboration, and not just with other breweries and, you know, people within the industry. You know, this is why I like the Patrons Project. It's, you know, we get little pieces of art included with the beer. Do you know what I mean? I've got a nice like selection of Patrons Project labels that I can make little projects with. I've been turned on to some great artists. I mean, look at, you know, the artwork Drew Millwood did for the Cereal Milk IPA that they did as part of the Northern Tropics. Again, a beer that didn't really overly excite me, but I thought it was beautifully brewed. And, you know, a lot of breweries would be, you know, head over heels if they brewed a beer like that. But I think part of me is like putting way too much, you know, pressure on Northern Monk. Not that they probably care what, you know, a dickhead like me thinks of their beers. I don't mean it in that sort of way. It's just when I do these reviews, because I do review a lot of the Northern Monk beers, I pick them up a lot. They're a brewery who I will pick beers from whenever I got the opportunity to, you know, such as, you know, Track, Cloudwater. Basically, when I'm in Manchester, those are the three. Yeah, it's like the trifecta of beer. And I want to try and break from that habit because I'm missing out on, you know, breweries like Raptor. I see their cans and stuff around a lot, but I seldom pick any up. Do you know what I mean? But that being said, even though I do sometimes focus, I mean, you might as well call this channel the Mikkeller and Northern Monk, you know, fanboy channel, because you do see a lot of content from those two breweries and companies. But I really enjoy it. I like sharing these beers. And, you know, they don't have to be 10 out of 10 all the time. Do you know what I mean? Although I could be reviewing this and you drank it and you're thinking, what the fuck are you talking about? You're missing out on so many nuances and characters. Or some people could, it's like with everything, some people might have tried this beer and thought, that's bloody shit. Do you know what I mean? That's what I love about this sort of stuff. But for me, it's not the best Northern Monk beer. I know that for me personally, they can brew much more satisfying beers for me personally. Neon Raptor, I still want to try a lot more of their beers because close friends of mine and people whose opinions I respect a lot have a lot of really good things to say about them, but I don't know why I just don't pick any of their beers up that often. I think because of where I am in terms of geography, it's easy to get stuck just going from Cloudwater, Track, Northern Monk, North. Who else have we got in this sort of region? Magic Rock. I'm blessed to be surrounded by easily sourceable, highly regarded beers. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I don't know. It's weird, isn't it? I don't know where this video's going, by the way. I'll have to do a full video talking about specific breweries. Do you know what I mean? Do a little bit of a series like that if anybody's interested. But yeah, 20 minutes in, and I'm going to give this beer a review and a score. And just looking at a Farm Foods flyer that I've received. Who the fuck is phoning up Farm Foods, by the way? Who is giving Farm Foods a call? What could you possibly want to talk to someone in a call centre about Farm Foods? Do you know what I mean? Anyway, yeah, I'm going to give this one a 7.5 out of 10. I was expecting maybe a little bit more, but as an IPA, Northern Monk, one of the best IPA producers for me in the UK. So, but I know I can get much more exciting ones. And I personally would pick, 2 or 3 cans of Heathen over this in terms of price point. But I think you're getting a good product for the price. You're getting a very well brewed IPA. You're getting a little bit of artwork that you can use. So it's not just beer. You're actually getting a nice little package, and I think it's money wise. I can't remember what I paid for it. I don't really care, to be honest. But I'd probably opt for 2 or 3 cans of Heathen, which this is very similar. That's one thing I will say. It is very similar for me, flavour-wise, to Heathen, but Heathen seems to have a little bit more body to it. I'm not sure if people who've tried this pick up on that. Is it going to dissuade me from getting 21.03? Probably not, because I want to try and complete a series from the Patrons Project, but it's not been the best Northern Monk beer that I've had recently, and I've drank a fair bit because I am a fanboy shill. But again, I don't want to just sound like I'm making excuses where there's no real need for excuses to be made, because it's still an absolutely fantastic little beer. Highly recommended, as are all beers that I review for you guys to try. Anyway, I've taken up way too much of your time. Went off on quite a big pointless tangent there, but that's the clueless drink away. So if you've tried it, let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. Are you a fan of Northern Monk? Go check out SKGN, go check out Neon Raptor, go check out Loughram Family Malt, and also go check out Indie Hops. And check out my Patrons Project playlist for some absolutely stellar examples of British craft. And Northern Monk, still my favourite brewery. But, I don't have to be bowled over head over heels all the time. Do you know what I mean? They're not going to always hit that high point. Come on, they produced probably one of my worst beers of the year, which was that fucking god-awful Radler that they did. But I know they can brew fantastic. I see I'm sounding like I'm making excuses for them, which I don't want to, because they don't need my voice defending them when they don't need to be defended, because I think consensus-wise, we all know Northern Monk make great beer. I'm not a fan, really, of their core range aside